Hey guys, it is John C. Morley here, serial entrepreneur. Welcome to IFYL, Inspirations for Your Life. So happy that you decided to pop in and join me. If you're new here, grab your smartphone and just go ahead and launch your camera app and point over to that QR code like so. Once you do that, touch that yellow ellipse, which will get you my link tree. If you're not watching me, but you're listening only, well then go to believemeachieve.com for more of my amazing, inspiring creations to change your life. Whether you're here, ladies and gentlemen, at 11 p.m., 11 a.m., 3 a.m., 3 p.m., 6 a.m., 6 p.m., whenever it is, I'm so grateful you're here. As you know, we start every Saturday with a new master topic, and we roll all the way through the week with a brand new one, and wrapping it up on a Friday. So 7 full days of a master topic, getting different granular with different pieces every single day. All right. I want to tell you a little bit about me because people always say, John, who are you? So I thought I would do that. I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur, and I help people tell a story that leads to them growing a more scalable and profitable business. I typically work with companies that bring in about 10 million or more and have a story that needs to be told, or they need me to find what their story is so we can captivate and excite new potential clients to want to learn about you and then do business with you. All right, guys, so let's get into the master topic. Our master topic is Inspirations for Your Life. Series 2 means when the second year, show 40, episode 4, the difference between being nice and getting taken advantage of. So let's jump into that for a moment, all right? And so we've all heard of the adage, that we have to be nice and we have to forgive 70 times 70. We've heard all these great things, whether from the Bible or whether they're life actually changes. Um, it changes when we understand one thing. And that one thing, ladies and gentlemen, is what? I'll tell you. It's the fact that we have to, I mean, have to, this is not even an option. We have to understand that the real difference here, okay, when we say, whether you actually, let's say, are being nice or you're getting taken advantage of, right? I think that becomes a little challenging. And so the first thing we have to understand is that there are two critical points. One is boundaries. Okay, maybe you find yourself saying yes when you really want to say no. Uh, maybe you're having a hard time establishing a boundary, and that's okay because this can help you lead to personal growth, healthier relationships, and a greater overall happiness. So, what is a boundary? A boundary is something that you want to keep somebody, let's say, at. Maybe you met someone, and typically your boundary is you just shake hands, and that's it. You only shake hands. Another boundary might be the fact that when you meet somebody at work, you shake hands, but your boundary is that you don't discuss anything about your personal life until you've been with them for a good couple weeks and you start to learn who they are, what they are, and, is this the right step for you? I think a lot of people get confused with boundaries, and there's a reason for that. The reason is that people don't understand that you have the choice to have the life that you want. You have that choice, okay? And so a boundary, which is what we're talking about, can be in any area of your life. I mean, any area. Like I said, have you found yourself saying yes when you really want to say no? This happens because you just don't want to cause a problem. And you feel that it's easier to say yes than it is to say no, even though saying no is actually what you really want to do. All right. So boundaries matter. Okay. They matter. Um, you might have a friend at school, and your boundary might be that you know we'll do work in school, but the boundary is that I don't want to hang around anybody that I just met for at least 2 or 3 months and see if they're a good fit for me. And so by setting up these boundaries, it's a good way for you to understand that you need to stay healthy, right? You need to stay regulated. And the way that you regulate yourself is to know what makes you happy and what makes you unhappy, right? What makes you happy and what makes you unhappy. Think about that for just a second. And I'll tell you that it's not hard. It's not hard. And you're probably saying to me, well, John, I don't quite get it. And the reason you don't get it is because you're trying to people please. You're trying to people please. And if you're trying to people please, you may not always be doing the right thing for you. You may not always be doing the right thing for you. Think about that for a minute. What does it mean when I say you need a boundary? Think about that for a second. What is a boundary? Think about that for a minute. I will tell you, ladies and gentlemen, that boundaries, okay, are essential to living a healthy and happy life. Okay? They're essential. If we know that something is a certain way, then why is it that we don't do it? Why? I think it comes down to the fact that we just don't want to do the wrong thing. At least that's what we're feeling. We don't want to do the wrong thing. What does it mean and how do you set a boundary? Where do you start? How do you start? Do you talk to someone? Why is it that we have a hard time with this? I know that you're probably confused, but you have to understand what a boundary can do for you. So if we understand what a boundary can do, then now we'll understand the fact that it's a control mechanism. It is a control mechanism. And it's here to protect us. And so protection is good, but sometimes it can be a little scary because it seems uncomfortable. Uncomfortability is good because it's going to help us learn. I will tell you that I think you guys have to understand one main thing. And that one main premise is that you have choices in your life. And a boundary will enable you to stay healthy. It'll make sure people don't take advantage of you. And when somebody crosses that boundary, you're like, hey, wait a minute. I don't go there. Or we're not going there right now. The thing about a boundary is it's not discriminating for race, religion, orientation, color. It just is. And it applies to everyone. So I say, hey, when I meet somebody new, this is my boundary. When there's a friend of mine that's been with me for a year, that's my boundary. When the friend has been with me for more than a year, that's my boundary that I can cross, or the next boundary. If you don't take the time to set up boundaries, then you're going to be walked upon, you're going to be abused, you're going to be used, and you're going to be very sad and depressed. That's right. You're going to be very sad and you're going to be very, very depressed. And so, thinking about that for a moment, okay, just a quick moment, ask yourself this one question. If I had a boundary in place, would I have been taken advantage of? No. The other key area is standing up for yourself. Maybe you're someone who struggles to assert themselves in various aspects of life, whether it's work, relationships, or even within your own mind. Standing up for yourself is a skill that can be developed. You can practice it over time, but you're not going to get good at it overnight. So standing up for yourself means that it's okay to say yes. It's okay to say no. It's okay to express your opinion as long as you are not hurting, harming, or speaking ill-willed about anyone else. See, that's the whole thing. Everyone has their principles, their values, and their morals, but we have to learn to coexist with each other. And so when we do, we're able to boost not only our success ratio, but we're able to, if you will, start to construct a bridge and become an advocate for our own needs and desires. If you don't take the time in your life to recognize these two very most important things, boundaries, 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 and to stand up for yourself. Maybe you're in a relationship, you were dating and you've been with this person for a while, and suddenly they're going down a certain path and you're like, I don't want to go down that pathway. Well, why? because that's just a boundary I don't want to cross right now. I may in the future, but right now we're just, starting out to date. And I think it's okay when you don't want to cross a boundary, and you don't have to justify yourself to anyone as to why a boundary exists or doesn't exist. If they don't like it, hit the road. All right. So these are two very, very important things. Boundaries. Okay. Set them up for your personal life, for your business life. Okay. Set them up based on potential risks. So if let's say you're being asked to do something, your boundary might be that I'm only going to give help up to 1 hour a week, 1 hour a month. Well, come on, give me another hour. No, that's my boundary. I can only give you an hour. And when somebody tries to abuse or manipulate that boundary, that's when you know that person is not trying to be nice. They are trying to, what, ladies and gentlemen? You know what they're trying to do. Yes, they're trying to take advantage of you. And it's not nice to talk about getting taken advantage of, but we have two options. We don't talk about it, and we get taken advantage of potentially, or we talk about it, feel a little uncomfortable, and we start to put the confines, the structures, and the rules in place so that we can know and measure whether we are being abused. Now, again, I'm not talking physically here. I'm really talking mostly verbally. And it also can be the fact that somebody is taking your kindness for weakness. Now, a lot of people just give, they'll take the shirt off their back. But once that person sees that you're just taking, and taking, and you're not even giving one thing back, and I'm not talking about money, I'm just talking about something mutually beneficial for the other party. The other person is going to say, hey, I don't think we're a match. I don't think we're in alignment. You see, people are afraid to say we're not in alignment because they feel that they're not going to get anybody else. You'll get someone else. There's plenty of other people out there. People that are not going to want to take advantage of you. They're going to want to get to know you. Now, I know this sounds strange. And until you've been in a situation where you've been taken advantage of, you may not agree with me that you have to set your own boundaries. But when you are in a situation that this has happened to you, you're like, oh, wait a minute. I got to sit down and I got to put some boundaries in place. Like, we had to do boundaries. And maybe someone says, I don't do boundaries. Okay, well, if you don't do boundaries, then I think we should probably just end it right here. Boundaries are not meant to be a threat. They're not meant to be intimidating. They're just meant to say, look, this is my side. This is where I want to go. This is what I will do. Anything else is not on the table for even discussion right now. This happens a lot in, personal relationships, romantic relationships where one person's expecting one thing. The other person's just wanting to coast along. And the other person's putting pressure because they want to go somewhere, exploring, and the other person doesn't want that. And they're like, hey, I have boundaries. The other person's like, oh, come on. When somebody's trying to pull your leg, when somebody's trying to go against one of your choices or boundaries, that person is trying to take advantage of you. And watch out. Once you call that person on the carpet and let them know that you are not going past this boundary right now, they may try again. You can say, hey, look, I've just told you twice. You do it a third time, and we're done. Now, that's not being nasty. That's showing respect for yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, I am John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. It's been a privilege, been a pleasure, been an honor to be with you this fantastic and click on my link to help keep our content free. Make the choice, buy my team and I a cup of coffee, a bowl of fruit, or a scrumptious plate of desserts. Either way, we're going to be grateful for those pennies and dollars. We'll invest into new hardware, new technology, new equipment, new software, even new facilities to give you the most jaw-dropping, motivational content to empower you. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, you have the choice to be treated nicely. And it's your choice to make sure that you're not taken advantage of. I'm John C. Morley, serial entrepreneur. And before I do say goodbye for the evening, I want to let you guys know what I do. And I'm going to let you know right now. So I help people tell a story that leads to them growing a more scalable and profitable business. I typically work with companies that make 10 million and more and helping them find that story and getting it out to the world. I hope you guys have a great rest of your night. You know I'll be back tomorrow. Check out all the other amazing content. And you know what, ladies and gentlemen, the choice is up to you. Will you start setting boundaries so you can protect yourself? I hope so. See you soon.